Yo, what is up, guys? This is Jake, and today we have a new life story of the first time I went kayaking. But first,
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah! America, fuck yeah! Freedom is the
haha, happy 4th of July to you guys. It's good being American. It always has been and always will be. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get straight into this the story here. And this one's quite amusing. It's gonna be the first time I went kayaking. Nice sticky there for the defense on B, and then a nice little kill right there. But here comes the story. So we get it started. I live in Trussville, Alabama, and in Trussville, Alabama, we have this river known as the Cahaba River, and this river runs from the top of Alabama to either like the midway to the midway down to the halfway section, if you get what I mean. And it's, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty decent sized river. It runs almost the whole state length, and sometimes it can be like really big, or it could be really narrow and small in some places. But today, on this certain day, we're in some sort of a drought here in Alabama, and it just hasn't been raining until today. We had like a hurricane come through here. It started hailing, thundering, lightning, and bringing down terror in the form of ice and water. But on this certain day, we put it in this Girl Scout camp, Camp Coleman, and that's the only place where we can put it in for it to make it where we wanted it to be. We got out at the Trussville golf club course area. I don't know what country club. Yeah, country club. That is it. And when we put it in, there's this really big pool of just water. I guess it just like made a hole there where everybody just put their boats in, and it was kind of a swimming area too. But I don't know why you want to swim in there, because there was these ginormous alligator gars. And an alligator gar is basically just a fish with a big snout, and it will eat you and bite you. And that's not the best place to go swimming, because they were decent size. Some over like 3 feet, some were around 5 feet. I mean, that's pretty big. That's a human. And if you ever watched, I don't know, some river monster show, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so we make our way down the Cahaba just a bit, and we can already tell that it is getting extremely shallow, extremely fast, because when we've hit the first little waterfall, water going down rocks looking thing, our kayaks are hitting the ground and scraping against the sand, the rocks, the pebbles, whatever was underneath us. Who knows? There were beer bottles, there was just random stuff, and some of it didn't make sense to me. Wow, I mean, there was a boat upside down in a tree. It was quite kind of freaky, because we were out there a little bit, but that'll be in the I lost my train of thought. Fireworks are going off. Alright, I'm just gonna start kind of semi-over. Once we put it in, we started rowing down the river, and once we get past the first waterfall, I mean, we've got this like 100-yard stretch of just open water. And the Cahaba, it's a extremely long river. It runs the state length of Alabama, like I said, and it's not the biggest, it's not the widest, and it's not the deepest. And like I said, we've been in a drought for a while, so the water, I mean, when I actually got out to drag my kayak, which you're not supposed to do when you go kayaking, you're supposed to stay in the water. If you guys did not know that, it's a pro tip for kayaking. Stay in the boat unless you have to. So, oh gosh, I cannot think today. Drop shot. So today, in this glory, it was a beautiful day. It was a wonderful day to go kayaking. We were so naive to think that it would actually float in 2 inches of water. But as we make our way through the river, we make our ways through these shallow waters. I'm talking extremely shallow, and it just continues like this for 2 miles probably. And the lady that we had talked to, that was like guiding us to where we could put it in and where we could, I don't know, and like put it in and get out. She said it would take around 3 hours. All right, we were not in there for 3 hours. We were in the water for 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours. But we did not kayak for 5.5 hours. We drug our kayaks. We drug, carried, lifted, I don't know, pushed our kayaks for around 3 hours, and then we rowed our kayaks for around 2 hours. And then the other 30 minutes was break times and checking the GPS to see where we were, because we had no idea which way we were going. We didn't even know if we were in Alabama still. That's how bad it was. And we make it to this railroad overpassing thing, and it was just weird because I had never seen it before. I've never been back into the back of the Cahaba River, and it was just kind of freaky because I didn't know what was back there. I did not know who was back there. I didn't know what lived back there. I mean, who knows? We could have had a bear. We actually had a bear in Alabama a couple days ago. It was kind of weird because you don't hear about bears in Alabama. You hear about snakes and rednecks, but that's about it. Not a bear. That's kind of freaky that a bear was actually like in my backyard, kind of, because it was in Trussville. And once we get to this railroad passing, my dad and I were like, all right, something is up here. We are not where we should be. So we get on the telephone or the cell phone with my mom, and we ask her to call the camp director, the aquatics director at Camp Coleman. That's where we put it in. And he says that we're halfway there. And so we're like, okay, we're doing good. And we're about the 2 hour mark, or 2.5 hour mark right now. And I mean, I haven't lost faith yet. I never did lose faith in the river myself or my dad, but it was just kind of interesting to see that how we get lost in a place that we've never been. I guess the life story coming out of this, or the moral, is to be familiar with where you're going, familiar with the landscape and what you're getting yourself into. But carrying on, I'm going to skip a while here because we just drug for another hour or so. Carrying on, we get to this road that has been filled over by the water. It was like I said, it was just really freaky seeing a road in the water with, you know, like the paved lines and everything over it. It was just kind of weird, and seeing that we were where somebody had lived before, and now it's just deserted. And we get back on the phone with aquatics director. He says we are almost there to the golf course, and finally we make it to the golf course. Finally we are out of the water, and we have to drag it about 100 yards to get up to the trailer where we're keeping the kayaks. And overall, we spent 5.5 hours in the water. We are not going back until the water gets up. And like I said, it's been raining here for the past day. And if the water gets up, or if it starts raining for the next 3 days, we will go back. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. As always,
America.
peace out.